another day. All right, let's ride. Alright, man, so here I am trying to manage this fucked up form of a microphone I got and do this podcast again. Hopefully it'll work again like it did last time. Who knows? Why is this motherfucker going the wrong way? I guess I'll be the smart one to drive the other way. FYI, once again, the podcast, No Plan This Ride, hosted by me, Blackout. And I missed a lot of shit in my little hiatus, and I'm gonna try to catch up on the important shit, and then I'm gonna go on to the stupidity of the week, the flavor of the week, whatever, however you want to call it. All right, so the Eagles won a Super Bowl. Did not see that coming. Glad it happened. It's always good to see David beat Goliath, so that was good. I guess I didn't really have a dog in the fight. I was pissed that the Patriots knocked out my Jags, but it's all good. And they lost, man. The Patriots took an L. Tom Brady should have caught that pass. It's probably better for Tom that he didn't, though. I'm going to keep it a buck. I know y'all probably thinking like I'm thinking. If he would have caught that ball, ooh, nigga. There's got to be a ridiculous amount of NFL defensive and shit, maybe some offensive players that would have loved to lay out Tom Brady had he caught that pass and put him out for the rest of his career. So it's probably better that he didn't catch that pass. I mean, the man already got 5 Super Bowl rings. Belichick got like 7. I think he got 2 with Parcells as an assistant. So he didn't really, need another ring. They'll probably be back in the picture next year anyway, so it ain't that big of a deal. There's a couple of sports writers talking about his age. It's not really a factor to me when you don't get hit. He's just got that much more time in that system and that much more wisdom when he steps out on the field. So it's not really a big deal. And then surprise, surprise, after the game, drunk Kevin Hart was hilarious. But after the game, the fucking Philadelphia fans did what apparently white people do after significant sporting events. They tear up the fucking city. So, immediately all the memes were coming, when black people do yada yada, we're called animals and savages, which is true. I can't give it too much energy right now because it's been so long since the Super Bowl happened and shit, and it's not really a hot topic for me right now. But we knew the hypocrisy was coming as soon as it started. We know how it goes when it comes to us, and that's just unfortunately a fact of life we got to do. Come on, you gonna be an asshole and take the turn? I hope all your tires burst on the way home. You could have waited for me to go, sweetheart. It wasn't that serious. Anyway, though, we knew it was coming. We knew they were gonna tear shit up. The Philly fans are passionate. And I get that. And I don't understand tearing up your own city when there's nothing going on. I don't really understand tearing up the city in a riot. I've never been in one. I've been angry enough to break some shit, so I guess I kind of get it. But I never wanted to tear up somebody else's business or anything like that. And these motherfuckers was going crazy. They were flipping over cars and shit, setting shit on fire. They had the cops out there wilding, saying crazy shit. I don't get it. You won. Now, yeah, I don't know. I was too busy being depressed about my Jags. That lineman, though, gave a hell of a speech. That was the best moment. That was one of the best moments in sports to hear somebody go the fuck off on everybody because they were counted out. Shit don't get better than that. Hearing that big ass lineman go off and talk his shit. And the outfit helped a lot. So, congratulations to those guys, the Eagles. I was rooting for them. I didn't think they were going to win, but they surprised me at one. So, congratulations, Philadelphia Eagles and all your fans. You guys earned it with a backup quarterback. That's fucking impressive. It's not like he wasn't a starter before. So, he was familiar, I guess, somewhat with the system. So, it makes sense that he did well. He had a good team around him, but he went out there and fucking executed. So, congratulations, Nick Foles. And he was the MVP. And he caught a pass in the end zone. Rubbing that all into the Patriots fans. But whatever, my team ain't make it. Fuck it. Hopefully the Jags come back next year stronger than ever. Hopefully the Bears and Mitchell Trubisky do some shit. Hopefully the Browns win some fucking games. They locked up that draft pick, but you don't really want your season to go out like that. That's terrible. Nobody wants to be garbage the whole time. What else? I missed that Nunes memo. That shit came out. Not surprising anybody. They paid for some shit to go down on the Democratic side. It went down. It still ended up blowing up in their face because Comey came out and said what he said about Hillary, basically torpedoed her campaign. But that's just karma because of the shit they did to Tony. That's just karma for what they did to Bernie Sanders. So she got the same energy she put out, I guess. Now the flip side of that is, as far as I know, because I haven't been keeping up with the politics, the news has been ridiculous. But on the political side, I haven't been keeping up too much. The president apparently is blocking the Democratic memo from coming out, which was a no-brainer for me. Like, after you deliver that blow that nobody really gave a shit about on the Democratic side, of course you would not let the other, the opposing memo come out, because you're trying to creep whatever credibility you got left. But that's just about to fall off because I forgot his name. I'm out of it today. I'm sorry. The guy's going to testify against Manafort. I can't remember his name right now, but so it's just slowly unraveling the ball of yarn until you get to the middle. And I really think that Mueller's trying to build a case so that when he goes after whoever he may be going after, I'm not going to assume it's the president, but that's what it's looking like. He's going to make sure when he goes after him, he's going to come correct. So I think it's going to be like dominoes. You get one to testify on one, to testify on one, to testify on another. And then eventually, you get the guy you want. And I wonder if it's going to be like RICO or Rockefeller, whatever the fuck the law is called, where they can get you with the conspiracy, like, oh yeah, you conspired to do. You didn't actually do it. Or you did do it, or you weren't actually the one that did it, but you conspired to do it. You're the mastermind. You're the head of the snake. We're going to get you. And that's apparently how I think it's going to go. It wouldn't make sense otherwise. I think there's enough to possibly impeach on. But then what's our option? Mike Pence? Depending on how you feel about that. I don't know how I feel. I don't like him because his wife ugly. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You could be an asshole, and your wife got to at least be put together. Like, his wife was like a goddamn garbage pail kid. And I hate to say it, but that's just how I feel, man. I don't want to see her on TV at all. It's terrible. Melania always looked lost and confused, but his wife looks terrible. And I just don't like something about him. I don't like a quiet evil about that guy. And I don't like anybody that can, if you can put yourself next to the other man, if you can put yourself next to him in confidence, I don't like you very much either. Just beyond policy, I don't like that motherfucker as a person. So I sure as shit couldn't like anybody that can be comfortable putting themselves around him or being aligned to him. Maybe that's just me though. I can't call it. I'm trying to slowly think about, remember what else. I know I missed something. I know I missed something. Oh yeah, the Super Bowl shit. Justin Timberlake. He was out there dancing, running around, doing his thing, talking to kids on cell phone with a boy trying to take a picture of him. I'm like, why are you trying to take a selfie, bro? You're on fucking TV. Everybody saw you. And if somebody's trying to text you, just look at the camera and say, not now, motherfucker, I'm busy. With Justin Timberlake, I don't want to talk to you right now. I know why you're texting me, because I'm standing next to this famous motherfucker at the Super Bowl on TV. I know what's going on. You don't need any selfies. You don't need none of that shit. Just enjoy the moment, man. Enjoy the moment. Sadly, I will, admit that started with our generation, but the kids got it way worse than us. Just fucking enjoy the moment. Everybody else is seeing the moment happen. You don't need to put it on fucking TV. And now you're probably on the meme somewhere. I can almost guarantee that kid's on the meme somewhere. I'm not for sure if I seen it, but I'm pretty fucking sure it happened. But yeah, speaking of JT, man, yeah, that shit was trash. That performance was. I guess I'm not a big fan of his music, but when you compare shit like that to Bruno Mars, it's hard. It's real hard. I know that's Justin Timberlake, and comparing him to Bruno Mars isn't really fair because of the performance Bruno Mars has put on the last couple years. It's not really fair to compare anybody to him at the Super Bowl, but hey, man, you took the job. That's what you got to live up to, man. Sucks for you, but that's just the way it is right now, man. I feel like every halftime show is a competition, and once he shut it down, it's going to take a lot for somebody else to come behind him and make that show look good. I don't fuck with Lady Gaga like that, but I feel like her performance was still better than Justin Timberlake's. And maybe it's because the way he was dressed. He was like a homeless blood. He had on that camouflage and had that poor man beard and that red bandana. I didn't know what the fuck was going on with Justin Timberlake. I was like, man, what are you doing? And then he's up there trying to do the tricks with the microphone, but it's on some type of swivel. I'm like, you're supposed to be JT. You're supposed to be that guy. You up here fucking off with this fake microphone trick. You lose points. I can't give you no points for that, fam. You almost got me. I was almost thinking that it was something legit, but I was wrong. I was fucking wrong. Justin Timberlake, you let me down. The little bit of hope I had for your performance, you let me fucking down. And you needed a guess, man. You got hits and all that, but you needed a guess. That shit it just wasn't doing it for me. Maybe you'll get it right. Maybe you'll do it again and you'll come and shut it down next year. I hope you don't, but maybe you'll bump up and do something else, man. I don't know. And I think that's the extent of shit that I really missed. As far as just like regular news. I'm gonna get into that other shit in a minute. What's the other shit I want to talk about? Oh, I saw Black Panther, and yes, that shit was awesome. On a scale of 1 to 10 in blackness, that shit was like a 59. All that goddamn melanin on the screen. Damn, that was a good movie. It was real well thought out the way they did it. At first, I thought it was gonna be like a typical action movie, and I was worried it was gonna be overhyped. But I think they did a really good job of telling his origin story. And I almost hope there's not a Black Panther 2 unless they, take some time with it and make it really, really dope. Because I know it's all about momentum when you're putting shit out to the public and everything, but I hope if they're going to make another movie like that they take their time with it and make it right. But I don't know if I want to see a part 2 just yet. Mostly because I want to rewatch this one again in like a couple weeks to just try to find anything I missed. But people tend, once you have success, people tend to rush things back out in order to capitalize on that dollar. But they've been doing well with Marvel. So I think this is just another way to weave them into the story. And I'm pretty sure they're going to come with somebody else. I don't know if they're going to have Cable come into the storyline, or if it's what they're going to do with Venom. I don't know how they're going to work it out, but I just want to see this finished product that Marvel's going to put out. And I mean, after seeing Black Panther, I feel like it's going to be dope. One thing I will say is I hope this movie makes people, black people obviously, I hope this makes us gain an interest in where we come from. I would say most of us have no idea which country of origin that we come from due to, the slave trade and all that. We can have an idea of what a region, and we would just assume, like me naturally I would assume West Africa, but from my understanding, slaves were brought from all over, so we're not really sure. And hopefully this will encourage some of us to do the ancestry thing. I know I've been wanting to do it for a long time. And when I get some monies saved up that's expendable that I can spend on something like that, I think I'll do it. For me and my family, so we know at least on one side where the bloodline comes from as far as the motherland. And I think it'll be interesting to see whatever else we got sprinkled in there. Because as a black person, I feel like that's just important. Everybody else has something to cling to. They have a flag they can hold up. They have a nationality other than the U.S. they can hold on to. Just a different language. Something that gives them, I guess, a little more. I don't really know how to explain it. But it's something that gives them something outside of this country to hold on to. Not necessarily a claim to fame, but just a sense of belonging. And I was talking to one of the guys at work, and I was telling him how I feel like, personally for me, when I hear people on TV mention, like, all the American people, I don't feel included in that. I don't know how common it is. I don't know if I'm the only black person feel this way. But I know for me personally, when I hear shit like, oh, the American people voted for whoever, or the American people don't feel that way, I don't feel like that includes me. I don't feel like it's for minorities when that statement is made. I just don't. I don't feel like I'm a part of that club. I'm not complaining. I'm not bitching. That's just how I feel about this shit. And like, oh, they ain't talking to me. And I really feel like that's why a lot of minorities don't pay attention to politics. Because when you look on TV and when you hear people speaking, you don't see a lot of people that look like you, for the most part. And my only answer to that is you gotta look more, you gotta look further. They're there. You just have to pay attention. You have to kind of seek it out. But recently, you've seen a lot more minority politicians, and no matter what side of the coin you land on, there's still something you can gain from that. There's other avenues, there's other professions to get into. There's reasons why you should be engaged, because the rules and regulations and legislation that these people put into place is going to affect your daily life. So I think it's important that we start paying attention to it more. And I know the big thing is like local government. The only thing for me is, if I were to vote, I'd be back in Florida, and I'm not in Florida. I'm not too connected with what's going on over there politically, and it's a piss poor excuse, but it's the truth. So I don't really engage myself in local politics because I'm not around. I can't really catch what's going on. I can see little things, but I'm not there. Is it right? Probably not. But this is just me being honest. I don't really engage in it because I'm not aware, I'm not around. But as minorities, we should do that more. We should make it a part of our culture to be financially literate, to know what's going on in politics, so that when we go to the polls to vote, you're not voting off fucking word of mouth or some shit somebody else said. You've actually listened to the issue, you listen to the politicians. You have an idea of what point they're trying to get across, or what issue they're trying to support or shoot down. And you have a position that you've determined on your own versus what somebody else fucking told you. And with media and everything, they're going to skew the viewpoint a little bit. But if you pay attention, you should be able to grab something from that and make an informed decision on your own, so that it's not totally coming from somewhere else. But yeah, man, politics, that it is what politics and media apparently go hand in hand, but it's got to be more about. It's got to be more individual responsibility is what I'm trying to say. I think that makes the best point, because I feel like I went from one point to another. I completely flipped the coin. But anyway, Black Panther was fucking great. All right. So back to that, and it's good to see a bunch of different people in the movie. Yes, there was a lot of black people, but there was also a lot of people I hadn't seen before. And hopefully they get other work and they continue to infiltrate Hollywood and depict us in a manner other than what we normally see as a criminal, as the junkie, as basketball player number 6 on Law and Order SVU, which I love, by the way. Yeah, but it's always good to see yourself in a positive light. And as a king who is caring for his people, that's fucking great. What else happened? Oh, the All-Star game. The All-Star game was the shit. I didn't really think I was going to like how they did the format with them picking teams and everything. I grew up in the 80s and 90s with the East and West, which it kind of made you, you had to pick a side, like, oh, I'm going for the West. And I guess you can still do that with it this way, but I just remember seeing those old jerseys with the East and West. I'm like, man, that shit is dope. The game has changed. And I guess with what's been going on in the last couple of years with the West, basically dominating, this is going to make it more competitive. At least that seemed to be the case this past weekend. It was a real competitive game. It started out kind of sloppy, but then over the course of the game, it got more and more competitive. Damian Lillard showed out, and he probably would have been the MVP at the West won. He put up like at least 20-something points, and LeBron, of course, he earned the MVP on the East, and he earned it. Like, he didn't get it, he earned it. When you see, it's great. It's always great to see great competitors be on the same page. And I hope anybody who questioned who's the best player in the league now for sure knows it's LeBron fucking James. Without question, it's LeBron James. Hands down. And you got to see, they deferred to him. They talked about it on Undisputed, but I noticed it when I was actually watching the game. There was a point towards the end, I want to say the last possession for Team Steph, when they were about to inbound the ball and they were going to do the switch and everything. You got all alpha males, or what they call it, the alphas on the team on these on this All-Star squads, right? And usually, all those guys are used to getting the ball, maybe used to being the guy that guards the guy for the other team. And there's a point where LeBron was trying to call out, which defense they're going to get into. And Westbrook was trying to tell us something. LeBron was like, nah, we doing this. And Westbrook said something else. LeBron was like, nah, we going to do this. And that was just it. And maybe it was like there was a miscommunication or whatever. Or he didn't understand something that was said and had to get it clear. And it was an agreement. But what it looked like to me, watching the game, is like, LeBron said we going to do this. And that's just what happened. Like, the whole team deferred to him. He ran the offense. Everything went through him. And I mean, I'm pretty sure some of those guys are used to it after playing on the Olympic team with bro. But that, you don't always catch Olympic games, right? But this game is in front of everybody. It's nationwide. And you got to see the best of the best defer to LeBron James. Regardless of who wins the championship this year, regardless of who wins MVP, at this point, I think they're just tired of giving it to him. The best of the best defer to LeBron James. That goes for KD, Russell Westbrook, and whoever the fuck else was on the team. Kyrie Irving, they all defer. And Kyrie did it when they were in Cleveland. He just didn't want to do it no more. But at 14 years in the league, he's still the baddest motherfucker on the planet when it comes to playing basketball. And even though it's a fun game, that to me proved he's still the best in the world. Also, speaking of LeBron James, the way he handled Miss Laura Ingraham, I found that also to be classy. And I love to see when black celebrities get in the spotlight and somebody's been, especially like somebody from Fox News, has been nasty to them in the media. I like it when those celebrities act like, just be better than me. Say some shit I wouldn't say. Because if that had been me, I'd be like, man, fuck you and your whole family. You know how many people I helped? But he didn't do that. He said, basically in a nutshell, said, I will not shut up and dribble. I'm going to keep doing what I've been, basically I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. And this is a man who's probably going to send over 1,000 kids to school. This is a man who's been on building houses for underprivileged, he's been building houses for underprivileged families. This is a man who constantly gives back and constantly gives his presence to social issues. And him, you know, to some other people, him wearing a t-shirt saying I can't breathe, or him taking a picture with hoodies on for Trayvon Martin, it may not mean shit to a lot of people, but it means something to me, because I came from an era where athletes didn't really touch that shit. The black athletes didn't touch it. And that's not historically how it's been. Because Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Muhammad Ali, they were all involved in the social issues. I think that culture may have changed with Michael Jordan. But this shit with LeBron and D Wade and everybody who speak up. Because these kids are looking at you. Now, I would love for there to be more well-known black lawyers, doctors, politicians, authors, nurses, astrophysicists, even military, a chef, somebody other than a rapper and a basketball player and football players and shit. I would love for there to be more of that. But if you're going to be in the public eye, at least be in the public eye the right way. And I can definitely appreciate the way he did it. And with Laura Ingraham saying shut up and dribble, like, come on, man. You do research for a living before you do your reports. You can at least get shit right. And this is why I have no love for Fox News. I spit on the name of Fox News because they know these things. They can easily do the research and find this shit out and not say stupid shit like this. But they do it to play to a certain base and to appeal to a certain type of person who, no matter what you tell them and what evidence you give them, they're going to believe a certain type of way. And for me, for somebody to deal with somebody who's just accepting of that is something I can't do. And with them supporting that lifestyle or that way of thinking, I can only feel like fuck you towards them and anybody that supports them. So if you're listening to this and you're an avid Fox News listener and supporter, fuck you, maybe. And I say fuck you, maybe, because you may be one of these people that can bounce in between news stations and grab something from each one, which is what I suggest. I wouldn't say exclusively look at CNN. I wouldn't say exclusively look at Fox News, HLN, MSN, NBC, all that shit. I would say look at all of them and then see what's on the world news. Check out the BBC news. To clarify, news. Check that out and see what they're saying. Because you may get a different perspective. More than likely you will. Especially between CNN and Fox News. You'll definitely get a different perspective there. That's why it's maybe a fuck you. Not 100%. And then apparently she came back and said she didn't mean it in a racist way. Like, there's no other way for us to interpret that shit. Because if a white athlete says something that's in line with your views, it's like there's never anything said. Like when Jake Long comes out and says anything in support of black athletes, just never shut up and play football. You don't hear that shit. You don't say shit about Steve Kerr. You don't say shit about Greg Popovich. So why are you gonna single out LeBron James and Kevin Durant? People who actually do shit for underprivileged youth and underprivileged families. So for that, you kiss my ass, and one time for LeBron holding it down and speaking his mind and not being deterred by people who don't know shit about him or who know things about him and choose to try to downplay that in order to meet their ridiculous agenda. Now, I'm upset with the people around LeBron James for a completely different reason. Now, I don't know if you listen to the Joe Budden podcast, which is phenomenal, by the way. But every now and again on the Joe Budden podcast, you'll hear a term called homie court. And for what I'm getting from this is basically when you take your homies to court for some foolishness or some fuckery that they may be accused of. I personally feel all of LeBron's all of LeBron's friends and teammates should be taking their homie court right now. Maybe 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, but definitely right now. Every last one of them, except for maybe Kevin Durant, because he got some other shit going on. I'm not quite sure what that is up there, but he got some shit going on. I don't know how they continue to let this man run around with his hair looking like that. I don't mean to be insensitive. I don't mean to sound like an asshole. I just don't understand it. LeBron James is probably the most recognizable athlete on the planet, other than maybe like a soccer player or two. Even still, probably the most recognizable athlete on the planet that's currently involved in sports. I cannot understand why, for the life of me, he has not cut his goddamn hair. I don't understand that shit. Before, it was like, okay, at first, like, you look a little thin, bro. You know, you might want to do something about that. Then the headbands came into play. Then the headbands got thicker. They got thicker. And he took the fucking headband off. And it's really telling how it progressed, because he went from wearing the headband, which is covering up a lot of that shit, to just like, all right, man, fuck it. I guess it's out there. I can't hide this shit no more. And he just stopped wearing that motherfucker. Because that shit has gotten aggressive. And I looked at that shit the other day, and I was like, boy, he need to go ahead and let that shit go. I don't know how the homies ain't roasted him into getting no fucking haircut yet. He cut it down like during the off season, and he looked bad. It looked like a dude. He's like a LeBron James with less hair. Instead of LeBron James with like lesser hair than he should have. He just cut this shit off, man. All this damn money, and I don't know if he's trying something though. I don't know if he's trying like some type of medication, or I don't know if there's like a cream or a pill he's gonna take that's gonna help him grow his hair back. I don't know if he's doing hair plugs. Whatever he's doing, that shit ain't working, or it doesn't look like it's working. He needs and if it is, I don't want to see it gradually come back. Just, hide the process, man. I wouldn't trust the process. Hide the process, man. Cover that shit up. Like, he should be allowed to wear a do-rag or something while he's playing, so you don't see that scalp peeking through that little bit of hair he has. That's just my personal opinion. And I mean, it's like, who am I to talk? I was trying to wait. I was holding out. And the very first podcast I did, I was talking about how LeBron, hey man, you could be great. You'll make those shots in the last few seconds if you just go all the way. Go full ball head like Michael Jordan. Cut down all that shit off. I said, bro, my shit's thinning too. When you go, I'll go. But I couldn't wait for LeBron. I was about to go get a haircut one day. And I looked at my hair in the mirror. I was in the car. I was like, man. And I just remember, it's like I was haunted by a joke I told. A while back, I was doing some training in North Carolina for my job. And there was this guy, cool guy. He was crazy as shit, but he was cool as hell. And he had, I don't know what they call this shit. I don't know if it's like the half moon, the horseshoe, or whatever, but he was basically bald, right? It was like he had like that Hulk Hogan Uncle Phil type bald head. Cool cat, skinny white guy, but I think the thing that got me is I had never really paid attention to somebody being bald or whatever. I think what got me was the fact that his haircut was so crispy. And you could look at this twofold, like, man, this guy, he's going through this, this process of losing his hair, but he's still appreciative. He's still appreciative for what he has. So he's going to maintain that and at least keep it. If it's going to go, if it's going, I'm going to keep that shit neat. So he had that shit, cut down nice low. But what fucked me up is the horseshoe part, the part where the hair was gone and it met the hair. He had that shit lined up to a T. He had like a Steve Harvey lining on his bald head, and that shit made me laugh. Like I was dying just thinking about that shit. I was like, wow. And I got the joke and talking to my boys. I'm like, so what do you pay for like a half a haircut when you only have half a handful of hair? Like I was talking to my boys, joking and shit. Being a young kid, being an asshole. And then here I am, a few years later, about to go get my hair cut. Like, damn. This shit it got aggressive. And I remember talking to my bro Willie. I was talking to my brother, and I'm like, bruh, I can't do this shit no more. I refuse to let myself go into 2018, getting these goddamn touch-ups. Like, I get my hair cut. And like I said, when you get your hair cut, you crispy, good for about 6 days. And then reality is going to slowly creep in when the rest of your shit starts to grow back. And you see where those waves have become an island or starting to become a desert. It's like, shit. So I said, fuck it. I went to the barbershop. I was like, hey, bro, take it off. He was like, cool. What do you want? Like, you want it low? You want it? I'm like, nah, I need to take a razor to this shit, bro. And shit, I got my shit shaved off, smooth bald, and I said, fuck it, I'm going to roll with this. And it was one of the best decisions I made because I had to realize that nobody gives a fuck. You not that important. Here I am thinking like, okay, I'm getting my hair cut down really low. When I go and I shave it all off, I'm going to walk out in the world and everybody's going to point and laugh like, you bald head. Man, I was like, man, no. I thought to myself for a second, I said, man, nobody gives a fuck about me being bald. And it was something I had to tell myself because I was just like, man, I wonder. Something was just keeping me from doing it. And I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And like, nah, checking out. I'm going to do it. And the crazy thing is like I used to get my hair, like I used to get like maybe like a 2, maybe like a 1.5 wavelength all around, even boom, 360 waves all the time. Then once that shit started thinning, like, I would get it cut maybe like a little higher, and then the barber had to blend this shit in to make it not look so crazy. Then once I got back out to California, I was like, I can't keep doing this shit. This shit, getting it cut this way is like only cool for a couple of days. So I finally said, you know what? I'm going to do what my father-in-law did. I'm going to knock this shit down like a 1 and just get it cut low and even all around. Because I know what's coming. It's just about to be all gone. So I might as well ease myself into it. So I want to say for like the better part of a year, I'll go get my hair cut, just get it cut super low. Then I said, fuck it, I can't. Getting it cut at a 1 is still kind of crazy. Let me go lower. So I started getting it done at 0.5 against the grain. And that's like super low. It's like the only thing before 0. So I got 0.5 against the grain. And it looked good. I get it lined up, edged up. It's like I got a little bit of hair there, but enough for you to kind of see once you get up on me. Because from a distance, I'm pretty sure I would still look fucking bald. So I did that for a little bit, and then finally I got into a situation where like I got to pay bills, I got to do this, that, and the third, and the last thing on my mind was like a fucking haircut. And I walk around there and work, and I pass by this tenant window that always, It's one of those windows that when you walk past it, you can't see in, you can see your reflection. And I walked past, and the glimmer of light caught me. And the light was it was me in the window, but the sunlight was reflected off my scalp. And I was like, oh, I can't do this shit no more. I can't do it. And I had to go get that shit chopped off. And I felt better about it ever since. Because it's just, I had to just be me. I can't keep doing this shit. And to be honest, financially, it saved me some money. Like, initially, I had to get some shit, some more stuff. And it's crazy. Like, I feel like you got to take better care of your dome once your hair is gone than you did when you have it. Because, you can just wash your hair, throw some grease in that shit, do-rag it up, and you good to go. But when you cut all that shit off, you got to take care of your scalp. So I still use some shorter shampoo just for my skin up there to make sure it's decent. Because, it ain't like all my hair just wasn't growing. Like, certain parts of that shit wasn't growing. And I just didn't like how that shit looked. So I just went ahead and cut all that shit off. So I still, like, shampoo my hair just for the little bit of hair that grows up there. And I got shit just to throw in my head and shit for when I shave it. And I spent that chunk of money on those little supplies. But after that, I've had to save at least $200-$300 on not going to the barbershop and dropping a dub in somebody else's hand every week or so for some shit I could do myself. So this is why I can't for the life of me figure out why LeBron James hasn't fucking done this shit yet. You get all the money to get all the treatments or get the best barber in the world. You got enough money to have a motherfucker come shave your head for you. Or to go to the barbershop and make sure your scalp is straight. And you in a situation where you can grow a beard. You already got a beard. That's what the thing is, bald head with beard. So I'm just trying to figure out why he can't or why he won't do it. Maybe he don't want to be, shave on the road and have that grow back. Maybe he gets real bad razor bumps. I don't know. But I feel like his friends, you got to go to homie court for letting your man walk around like that, man. Cause his shit right now is like bad carpet. I don't know if you ever seen carpet on the floor to where you walk around and some of the carpet is ripped out and you just see bare floor. That's fucked up. Where the carpet is ripped out and you just see bare floor, but that's what LeBron James' hair currently looks like. And I hate to be like that, but shit, I was waiting on him too goddamn long. He was the bald father. I was waiting on him so I could set myself free, but I had to go on without old LeBron, man. Hopefully he takes care of that shit sooner than later. But salute to him for handling the Laura Ingraham situation the way he did. In a professional manner in which we can all be proud of. Except for that goddamn hair. Now, she said some shit about his hair. That shit would have been funny. Nah, that's fucked up. But I may have looked at it a little different. Now, if she said old bald head ass LeBron, nah, I'm just fucking with you. But I like the way he handled that situation. At the end of the day. What else happened? Oh, so, yeah, the way I titled the shit to what I did. We don't value life here. And I call it that because with this gun control shit. Now, I've been teasing the homies on Facebook, the people I know or people who know people I know who have somehow become my friends on Facebook. I've been teasing people talking about this shit all week, just making little jokes here and there, like how you want border control, but don't want gun control. You want fucking birth control, but then don't want gun control. And we joke and we laugh, but I'm dead ass serious, because I don't get it. I really don't get it. It bothers me. And I don't want it because I'm scared that somebody's going to come fucking shoot up a school. I want it because I feel like it's time for it. I want it to be something that works. I don't want just a slap together rule that prohibits people from getting guns altogether or anything stupid like that. I just want the process to be harder. And I say what I say because I really don't think people value life in this country. More often than not, in situations like this, the fact that life was lost isn't the most important part of the conversation. The most important part is that somebody has a talking point they could use. That's what it seems like it's become. Like, oh, well, if they wouldn't have been able to get the guns, yada yada yada, this wouldn't happen. Or no, they should have more people with guns because they could stop that guy. And my thing is this: it's like I said on my Facebook post. Listen, G, niggas can't hit jump shots in a fucking basketball game, or kick field goals, throw touchdowns, hit baseballs when it's on the last pitch in a clutch situation. People consistently fucking fail. I am not expecting anyone to just magically be able to take down an active shooter because they had their gun that day. They just had it on the clutch. Unless you're like a fucking cop or some shit like that, some type of SWAT sniper, some type of ex-military operative who's been placed in some CIA type position to specifically counteract some shit like that. I'm just not with you on that. I'm not expecting the average Joe Schmo citizen who has a firearm, who's attended firearm safety classes, who may have a background to just be up in a chaotic situation where people are running around going fucking crazy. Nobody knows who's going where, who's doing what. I'm not expecting that one man to be fucking Jack Reacher and shoot the one guy or multiple people that are attacking people. I'm not expecting that, and I can't or would not hold any one person accountable for that other than the police, and they still need time to get there and assess the situation. Even if there was a cop on campus or in the movie theater or in the nightclub, wherever these mass shootings are happening, there's going to be a pause, a moment where people have to be in the moment and realize what's going on. You have to be cognizant of your surroundings and aware of who's causing harm to all these scattering people. Like, there's no way somebody with a gun would have stopped that guy in Vegas. He was set up too well. There's no way somebody with a gun would have stopped the guy in fucking Paris or in the nightclub in Miami or at this fucking school. He would have still took lives, is what I'm saying. And I know guns don't kill people. You don't have to. I'm not stupid. You don't have to tell me that shit. I know guns don't fucking kill people. We all know people kill people. But my thing is, people are utilizing guns. And I get all these dumbass arguments about, well, the car, if somebody gets in the car, they can use a car to kill people, or a baseball bat. I get what you're trying to do. You're trying to be slick and trying to be funny and trying to be smart about the shit, but that's not the purpose of those things. A gun's purpose is to harm whatever it's pointed at. A gun's purpose is to shoot. A gun's purpose is to maim, dismember, and or kill. That's what a gun does. There's no other purpose for a firearm. It's not a paperweight. It's not a fucking door stopper. You're not going to do surgery with it. You're not going to hit a fucking baseball with it. You're not going to drive with it. A gun's purpose is to defend yourself, to get food. And if you work in a certain capacity, a gun's purpose is to kill, detain your enemy, however you want to slice it. That's a gun's purpose. Personally, for me, other than people in the military or whatever other government organization CIA, whatever I may not know about, a gun's purpose should not be to kill. Even with the police, it's not to kill. It's to subdue a suspect. It's to gain control over a situation. Like, a goal is pretty much a police officer's last option if I had my brain working correctly. So the argument of a car or a baseball, that shit doesn't make any sense. A baseball's main job, its priority, its goal is to hit a baseball. Anything that you use a bat for other than that was not its intended use. You're not going to use a bat to put out a fire. You're not going to use a car to cook. Car's purpose is to transport people, animals, and things. That's it. It's to and from. That's a car's purpose. Baseball bat's purpose is to hit baseballs. That's it. Somebody tried to be smart, like a baseball bat's purpose is to hit. A baseball bat's purpose is to hit a fucking baseball. That's why they call it a baseball bat. A gun is a weapon. It's simple facts. I don't understand how people can't put that together. It's just a weak attempt at trying to make an argument. And again I say that's why we don't value life, because we will defend a point that ends in death. If you look at our culture in America, life it's not valued. If you look at the entertainment, we have action movies, whole movies that the storyline is nothing but people getting fucking killed. And some suspense thrillers, horror movies. Like, the whole movie is surrounded by violence. That's the whole purpose of the movie, is to show these action scenes that incorporate violence. Music, violence, TV, violence. People getting killed, maimed, hurt. That's all you see. And I'm not opposed to people, getting their entertainment. It is what it is. That's the game. But let's be clear. From shit like Call of Duty to these fucking action movies to the music we listen to, and I'm talking about rap music. There's not a lot of places where you're taught to value actual human life. From the police shooting videos we see all the time, the fucking fight videos, we really don't care. It sounds cool to be like, oh yeah, that's sad that happened, but let me tell you why I'm right and you're wrong, and that's what's happening. And the way I perceive the world in my brain, that's the way it happens to me. We don't value it. It's okay, we don't care until there's somebody close to us. When it's on TV, that shit ain't even real. It's not real. Unless you have some type of connection to something that person represented, or some type of movement they had, some art they created, you don't really give a shit about that person. It's like, oh man, he died. That's sad. And the week you're gonna fucking forget. Unless it's directly connected to us, there's no way you can make me feel like this country values life. No way, shape, or form. If that was the case right now, this whole country would still be in mourning for these kids who died. And for the kids that got to go back to school, that are got to be completely fucking traumatized. For the people in Vegas, the people in San Bernardino, the people in Orlando, people in fucking New York when that guy went crazy with that fucking vehicle. Boston a couple years ago. There's no way that you can make me feel that it's really an issue other than political and a talking point for somebody. The way we just dismiss what actually happened so that we can be right. And I think that's an obsession we have in this country with being right. It's crazy. And even like the Second Amendment argument, I'm all about, you want to protect yourself, I'm cool with that. I completely understand the right to bear arms, got it. But when people try to twist it to why you need an AR-15, I don't give a shit that it's not an assault rifle. I just, for me, there's no need for a common person to have the same gun as the military. It's like, oh, it's my right as an American. I mean, yeah, legally it is your right, but is it necessary? Why does any person need an AR-15? And I will even give you, if you live out in a rural area where you may have nuisance animals, where you may be attacked by an animal or some shit, I'll give you that point and say, well, maybe you shouldn't fucking be there. If you decide to move out into an area that's dominated by wildlife that can maim you or your property, that being your livestock, maybe you shouldn't have fucking went out there. We're losing enough areas for wildlife as we do on a regular basis. That's not how I want to word that. We're losing enough wilderness already. So for somebody else to move out there and then complain about wildlife, that's something I never understood either. So to me, that's not even really a valid point. If you want to raise crops, you want to raise livestock, find some way to do it where the wildlife isn't so prevalent. And I've never lived that lifestyle, and it may sound harsh. You may have to get land where the government allots you to get land, but that's a decision you made. You need to scout that area out or have an expert of the area scout out before you get there to make sure your livestock don't get fucked with. Now, if you're out there hunting wild boars and shit like that, I may give you a pass on. You may need a certain type of firearm, but I've seen people do it with dogs and rifles. And I know it's TV, but that's the closest that's the closest I get to it. So I still don't understand the need for some of these rifles. And I'm not just talking about rural folks. I'm talking about there's no reason in the hood for a nigga to get an AK-47. If you need an AK-47, you are living life incorrectly. There is something that you are doing wrong. There's absolutely no reason why somebody living in the urban jungles of America needs an AK-47 unless they plan on doing harm to somebody or they already have done harm to somebody and now they have to wait on to get back the retribution for that. We don't need Uzis. That's just a fucking truth. There's no reason for a nigga to have a Uzi. Personal opinion. And I feel like it's a fact. There's like a pistol, cool. You got a pistol for the crib, pistol or shotgun for the crib, okay. Even if you got a pistol for your walk around, cool. But you don't need a fucking Uzi, man. You got that much trouble in the street. You got to think to yourself, how the fuck am I living life? And I understand, like, the street is the street. You got to get it how you live. But then you got to think about at what cost. If I'm going to put my life in danger by making this move, at what cost? Do I really need to get this pack off? Do I really need to rob this person right now? What could I have done 10 steps back before I got to this point so that I'm 5 steps ahead? You need to reevaluate your life. And for me right now, I'm not in that situation. So I feel like I can say this, but at what point do we continue the cycle of the same destructive behavior? That's all I'm saying. My thing is, I just don't want people to die because of senseless gun violence. Like, whether it be a school shooting or somebody going crazy on the block with an AK-47. And I completely understand eye for an eye. I get that. Luckily for me, I'm not in a situation at this point in my life. If I happen to fall into that situation, maybe my mind will change. I'm human. But right now, while I'm at peace with myself, I don't have any quarrels with anybody, I can't see the need for an AK-47 or AR-15 or M16 or whatever type of other rifle that's out there. I don't need no Uzi, none of that shit. Does it look cool? Of course it looks cool. Does it look dope? Yes. Submachine gun looks dope. I would love to have a Tommy gun, a model of a Tommy gun. Just to have the Tommy gun just reminds me of the gangster days. That shit looks hype. It looks cool, but do I really need it? Nah. I don't want the burden. I don't even want to know I had that shit because me personally, I feel like people go on a power trip when they get these fucking firearms. And I feel like it puts your mind in a place that it wouldn't naturally be at. Like it's a power thing. It's a power complex. You got a superiority complex about yourself because you know you have the power to take somebody's life at any moment. That shit make you crazy. Black people know the movie Juice. Come on, y'all know what I'm talking about. But I think there's so many people just feel like they need it. Like for what? If you need a gun like that, number one, you need to change your lifestyle. And number two, don't ever come stand next to me because I don't want nothing to do with you. When I realized, when I got to a point where I felt like I had to have my pistol with me when I went certain places, I stopped going there. When I went to my homeboy's house, I won't say his name, but I was out of town for a while. I came back into town for the first time in a while. Hadn't been there, hadn't seen anybody. I didn't have any problems with anybody, but I got back to my shit. It was like, well, I'm back there, like where my pistol is. I'm glad I'm back. I got this. So I left the crib where I was staying there. I took it with me, and I went to my homie's crib. I was like, hey, bro, I'm always strapped. You mind if I put my shit on the counter while I eat my food? He's like, yeah, go ahead. I don't mind giving a fuck. There's me, a bunch of other people in the house. I go there, I put my pistol on the kitchen counter, eat my food. Nobody says nothing. I sat back and realized, like, why is everybody comfortable with this? What's going on to where everybody's comfortable with me being in this little ass apartment, putting my gun on the counter to where nobody's concerned about how I'm living my life? That moment changed me for the rest of my life. It just made me think about shit different. If I got to be there like that, I don't need to fucking be there. That's just my reality, man. So I'm all about protecting yourself, but there's certain firearms I just wish people had restricted access on. And I'm going to be real with everybody. I know people saying Second Amendment, right to bear arms and shit. And that came from the founding fathers. That came from revolutionaries that had just overthrown the government. I don't think the current government plans on being overthrown anytime fucking soon. At all. And like I said, them niggas had muskets. They had muskets. You know how long it would take to reload a musket? Go get a musket, try to reload that motherfucker and see how much time it takes. You see how much damage you could do. The government went, man, we don't give a fuck about you. Got muskets. We got cannons, motherfucker. Now, cats are getting the same guns the government has. But guess what? For you guys think, well, I need to have these guns because I need to protect myself against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and they got martial law, they're going to come take our guns and all this shit. I'm going to tell you like this. In that situation, you will lose 150% of the time. Because one thing the government has that you don't is resources. Especially in this country. Because the number one resource they're going to have that you won't have is people. They're going to have people. So if that's your reason, that's out the window. They're going to have more people than you. They're going to have more guns, and I guarantee you they're going to have more motherfucking bullets with more people that are trained to actually use it. So all that in case of martial law, that shit is out the window. Because if you listen to this podcast right now, you probably pay fucking taxes. So you done lost all fucking ready. Because they got all your information, and if they really want to come get you and get to the point where they want to just get you, what they're going to do is stop your money. And at that point, unless you live in the fucking woods somewhere and you're going to hunt for your food, you still done. Because they can't get you, they're going to get your family member until they get you. So all that, for martial law and all, that shit is over. It's a wrap. You're going to lose. You're not going to make it. You will fold. And anybody around you at some point was going to fucking fold. So that bullshit ass, I need it for, that shit's out. You will lose. Guaranteed. 100% of the time. So that argument, I heard that argument somewhere like, oh, that's out. I don't give a fuck how many militias you got. None of that shit. If for some reason, the government decides to come get you, they're going to send the police. The police don't work, they're going to send in SWAT. SWAT don't work. They may say they go National Guard. If that don't work, it's going to be wave after wave after wave, and you will not be able to sustain it. And it's the dumbest shit that I've heard, that people feel like they can stand up to that. So it's a wrap. You can't do that. It's just a bunch of dumbass arguments that go nowhere. It's just continuous back and forth. So with that being said, if you need that shit, don't stand nowhere near me. I don't want to be around nobody that feels like they need that much firepower for them and their family. I'm good. I'm cool. I'll stay to the left or right of that. I will not stand in front, behind, or next to that. I can't do it. I'll be way to the left, way to the right, way somewhere away from that shit. So if you got all them guns and shit, and that's how you feel like you got to move, stop fucking with me. If we friends in real life, I can't fuck with you no more because I don't want to be around a nigga that got that much heat out in the street to where he got me packing like that. Sorry, bro, I can't fuck with you no more. That's just how I feel. Anyway, I'm trying to get back on track. I'm still using the wrong mic. So if I sound fucked up, oh well, we just got to deal with it till I get my shit back in the mail. But this has been No Play in This Ride. Once again, I'm the guy Blackout. I can be reached at noplayinthisride@gmail.com. I can be reached at noplayinthisride on my Facebook page. I'm on Twitter at noplay 247. That's capital N, lowercase o, capital P, L-A-Y. Or you just look up No Playing This Ride. I'm pretty sure it'll pop up. Get at me. If you like what I'm saying, cool. If you don't, oh fucking well. I'm going to say what I want to say anyway. But if you have any feedback, please send it to me. If you got any topics you would like me to speak on, please send that shit my way. Shortly, I will be getting back to doing podcast reviews. I may throw some album reviews in there. I'll throw a spotlight on people again. I'm just trying to figure some shit out. I'm trying to figure out how to get my t-shirts, how to get my t-shirt game popping. So if you can help me with that, please let me know. Shout out to Kev for looking out for me and telling me about that. Shout out to my man Bombay for holding me down. Shout out to my boy Ryan who just hit me up about this shit today on the 20th of February. He told me he likes what I'm doing. Appreciate that, homie. Hope you're doing good out there on that water. Who else? Shout out to my man Highland. Highland Enterprises always doing big things. Shout out to my man Gay. My man Wayne Gay. I don't know if he even listens to this shit, but he's doing, him and that boy Tigo, trying to get their financial shit going and educate the people. And I can always commend somebody trying to preach financial literacy to our people. I think that is extra fucking dope. And the boys are intelligent. They eat books like fucking Cheerios. So shout out to Tigo, my man Gay. Who else am I needing to shout out right now? As always, man, shout out to my man Weeks, NewJackCity.net, the website, New Jack City Music. If you like music out of Jacksonville, Florida, check my man out. Got a song out called Conceited right now, featuring my homeboys, That Nigga and OGEB. Also, shout out to my man, Big Brother Brooks on Twitter. Also, Brooks on the beat, makes beats, raps, mixes all that shit. Yeah, Tyrant Ghostwriter, that's my guy. Hit him up on www.soundcloud.com/BrooksOnTheBeat. His Twitter is Big Brother Brooks. Big Brother Brooks. I fucked that all up. B-I-G. That's a capital B. I-G. Capital B. R-O-T-H. Capital B. R-O-O-K-S. Big Brother Brooks on Twitter. If you're looking for any of those people I just shouted out, if you can't find them motherfuckers, hit me and I'll get them to you. NewJackCity.net. SoundCloud.com/BrooksOnTheBeat. So you got the record label, my man Weeks, NewJackCity.net, and then you got the guy who can make beats and mix your shit. That's my boy Tyrant Ghostwriter, also known as Big Brother Brooks, man. So hit them guys up, or hit me up to hit them guys up, and let's get shit cracking. If you want to be motivated and all that shit, my man Highland Enterprises, he got you, man. Anthony Highland, look him up, does good shit all day long. No Playing This Ride. I'm your boy Blackout. Peace.